Hi guys, I'm Katie Room from Periapsis Press.
And I'm David Room.
And today I'm going to open my box from Michael Caine's Kickstarter After Moses. I'm very excited. And we also went to the bookstore, went to 2 different bookstores in the last few days, and we are going to show you the cool stuff that we got. I'll start with this though. I am going to flip it over. I've already covered up the shipping label, so no one will be doxxed today. You guys can see. Oh, I got cool stuff. So here is the bookmark.
Yeah, real quick, he said. You're going to look at this stuff real quick.
Got a lot of cool stuff. Sorry for the plastic sound. All right, there.
You know, Patrick, I was trying to come up with a funny thing where I would post my own location and do a funny edit of some kind, but I couldn't really think of anything to do that was funny.
Yeah. So there's the thickness on that for bookmark people. All right. On cardboard, so it won't get folded. Oh, that's nice. There. You guys can see the cover. Oh. Okay. Oh, this big one doesn't really fit in this bag. There we go.
Man,
Meteor bars. This one's the magnet.
Okay, I'm going to grab that.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Staple before it ends up somewhere. Here, I'm going to
Also a magnet.
nudge that. Nope, I'm not going to nudge that over.
A couple of character stickers. And of course, the Red Spot Soda Company. I have the t-shirt, but I'm not wearing it today. If I had thought ahead. Thank you card with his signature. Okay. It's got bubble wrap. If you guys have ever seen me do an unboxing of a book, you know I like bubble wrap. All right, there it is. Bit of a chunk. So here's the first one. Looks great. You can see how much bigger it is. Thank you.
I'm going to put the link in the
Oh, sure, go for it.
in the green room.
Yeah. Okay. So that is all of that. Fun stuff. But we have more.
Yeah, and free Narnia. And if you want to hang out with us, I put the link in the green room. No pressure.
I like this one. Okay. Put that right back there.
Cool.
God, did he sign me? I didn't even look inside. I think, yes. I think that was, can't remember if that was an add-on or not.
All right.
All right.
Should we do our book haul?
Sure.
Okay, so should we do the 2 trips separately?
Sure.
I think that's kind of fun because it's more like what actually happened.
Yeah.
So I think just
These 2 from the top, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I found these and
So we just what this was for people who might have. I gotta get that tape pushed.
Oh.
There are multiple. Usually, when we do a book haul, it's from Half Price Books, and there are multiple Half Price books that are
in our area.
So, this was from when we went Friday, and it was like not a super successful run. This was from the one in Maplewood, which is the one that Katie usually prefers. And then today we went to the St. Paul one, which is generally my favorite one for the kind of stuff that I want to find. We had a lot better time today. So
yes.
Just a couple things from Friday, and then we'll show a nicer haul for today.
I've been browsing the sci-fi fantasy trade paperback section, which I usually don't do because I like to have hardcover copies of stuff. But I was in there and I found these and they're gorgeous. Oh, this is Ursula K. Le Guin, A Wizard of Earthsea. Only the first one, but then they also had this Orsinian Tales, so a little anthology. Oh, I was very, very excited.
They have a lot of these kind of like collectible paperbacks in bags. These fun little bags.
That way they don't put the sticker right on the front.
Yeah. Not the stickers are always really good about coming off at Half Price Books, but yeah, I usually don't get to look at these, but you've been looking at them a couple times recently, and I found some good stuff. So
pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Which I guess it makes sense because most books used to start out as paperbacks and then would only get hardcover copies done later with maybe not so great of art, I guess. I don't know. It just seems like.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
As art styles changed and got worse. So yeah, and they're both wraparound, which is kind of cool. Not a whole heck of a lot to see on the back, but it is kind of a neat touch. So yeah, Patrick says classic covers. I like them very much.
So about our trip on Friday, I tweeted out I got a book and a computer game, or a computer game and a DVD. I also got this book. Usually we don't talk too much about the books. We usually buy a few books for our kids, let them pick out some books, buy a couple books ourselves. But since I buy and show a lot of Star Wars stuff, I thought I'd include this. So this is Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks Join the Fight book, which is a kid's picture book about the whole Ewok plot arc. And it's really, really beautifully illustrated. You can tell it's like pretty heavily photo referenced or maybe traced some of it, but it's really pretty, and it kind of goes through the whole all the major beats and funny stuff from the whole Ewok story. So that's That's fun. I don't know. This is just cool. Like these drawings of the stormtroopers and
The colors are great.
yeah, Leia's maybe in the wrong outfits in certain scenes. I don't know, but it's just kind of funny. There's even a little thing about like when Luke comes back and how Darth Vader's dead at the end. It's kind of funny. And a nice shot of the Death Star exploding too. So yeah, just fun. And of course, when you have little kids, they really like the Ewoks. The scene where Leia meets Wicket is one of the first bits of Star Wars that I showed to my daughter. So it's all good stuff here.
That looks great.
Yeah. So a book I did buy on Friday, and then the movie and the game that I got. So the game I got is Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, and I've had really good luck finding some of these Star Wars games the last few times that I've gone to half price books. And I always like to buy these when I see them because these are the sort of like jewel case. This would have been like a thing that sold just like this. This wasn't inside another box. It's like this is the complete thing. And for a lot of these games, you know, I don't have room to have all of them in giant boxes on my shelf. So having the complete jewel case with both CDs and you know a nice instruction manual, you know, for whatever it's worth in a nice package is nice. And this particular game I know quite a bit about, but I've never actually played. I never had this as a kid, and I haven't gotten hold of it since. But it's one that was missing from my collection. I was really happy to find it for $5, and it should really run nice on my Pentium, my 500 megahertz Pentium 2 Windows 98 machine. So probably we'll try this. I have a few days off work, and I'll probably try this sometime soon.
And surprised that it's not cracked.
Yeah, they run different conditions. It is somewhat scratched up in terms of the jewel case, but it is in pretty good shape. And actually, one of the other times I was there, I found a copy of X-Wing Alliance, which you know, they always store things open with the CDs out. You have to get the CDs from behind the desk, but it actually said on it that it came in sealed. So sometimes you do find stuff like that there that literally is brand new. Okay, so that was the game that I found, and then the movie. I'm pretty excited about this. So this is Highlander Immortal Edition, and I found this on clearance for $3. I've been getting into movies a lot lately and enjoying movies, and Highlander is one that I watched for the first time, I think maybe a couple of years ago, and I recently got the 4K of, and I really like that movie. And for a while I've been kind of focusing on collecting, you know, Blu-rays and 4Ks if I can get them. My thought has been, you know, if I really like a movie and it's going to take up space, I want the 4K version. Well, I got a little bit of a physical media collecting bug, and there are some nice advantages to DVDs. One of them being that they don't really have a lot of encryption on them, and they're easier to play on computers and rip and things like that. And I kind of decided that I'm going to start building a little collection of DVDs also to be able to play on like DVD players and older TVs and things like that. It's kind of nice to have sometimes. And I started building a collection of movies that I like on DVD. And especially if there's sort of a special edition of something like this for cheap, I'm just going to buy it. I can always give it away later if I decide to downsize my collection. $3 isn't a whole lot, but this is pretty cool. It's a kind of, it's not exactly a steel case like a modern steel case, but it's this metal slip case, and it is from Anchor Bay, which is kind of in my understanding might be considered like a boutique DVD or movie company that kind of re-releases interesting movies. And this Immortal edition is cool. It's sort of like a Queen focused edition, because Queen did the soundtrack for Highlander. So there's the DVD with Queen prominently on it, and then there's a CD that's got some Queen stuff, and it's got this cool booklet. And it's kind of funny because my 4K copy of Highlander is actually really cool too. It came with a bunch of art cards and extras and stuff. So both my copies of Highlander that I have are like really cool copies with a lot of extras. If anybody hasn't seen Highlander, you should definitely watch it, because it's a fun movie, but it's really gorgeous too. And you get a sense of that in this booklet. Like all of these stills from this movie are just gorgeous. It's not a very complicated movie. It's not a very high budget movie, but just look at this. It's awesome. And it's the kind of movie that you'd want a fun little booklet about. Oh, cool. Look at this. And you could even order some official Highlander merchandise. Look at this. You could get the Clan MacLeod sword. Oh, look at this. Connor MacLeod's official katana for just $300. I'd buy that. Look at that. I wonder if these are from that same cutlery company that you're...
Hard to say. There's a lot of them that do those.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and look at this. Baseball jacket. I'd wear that. That'd be sick. Oh, look at this. Connor's sword and letter opener and Connor's katana pen. Wow. Awesome stuff. All right, so that's worth $3, right? I'm not crazy. Okay, so that was on Friday.
And then, because we didn't buy enough,
Yep.
we decided to go back out into the world
Uh-huh.
instead of hiding in our library and procure additional media
Materials. Additional materials for the stacks.
Should I go again?
Yeah, we could go back and forth here. We have some different things to show.
So I went again, and this time I found The Wise Woman by George MacDonald and Other Fantasy Stories. I know nothing about this except that it's by George MacDonald and the art was cool. So I grabbed it.
Oh, wow. See, Erdman's. This is probably, $8 is probably like a pretty fair price for this if it's Erdman's. They're kind of a scholar.
Somebody got it for $3.
Well, Erdman's, you probably have some Tolkien
I'm
stuff
sure
at
I do,
Erdman's.
yeah.
It's like a kind of a scholarly publisher.
Yeah. So I got a C.S. Lewis quote right up at the top. And then, of course, they mentioned Tolkien and Langle.
Madeline Langle, yeah.
Has a quote. But
speaking of
art was really cool.
Speaking of Madeline Langle, they had a bunch of Madeline Langle
Oh, it was beautiful.
Hardcover books with they're like the original hardcovers with the original kind of like hand drawn, kind of
like
looks
pastels?
like oil, like pencil and oil pastels and colored pencil kind of covers.
Mm-hmm.
They had a many waters that I thought was really cool, but it was it was actually water
It was actually water damage.
So Anne says, "Oh, it's a pretty little book." Our baby thought so too.
Yes.
Trying to grab it.
So I bought a shelf, a baby shelf. It straps around my waist and then he sits on it. This is the latest in baby gear. I didn't have it with either of the other kids, but it means that he's very mobile. And I was holding 2 books, a big cookbook and this, and he was like trying to play with the plastic and grab it from me. So finally I handed it off to David. I was like, take this book, keep it safe. Michael Caine says, I think The Wise Woman sometimes goes by The Lost Princess. This says other volumes include The Golden Key, The Light Princess, The Grey Wolf. Supposedly this came in a set of 4 paperbacks like this. I would love to find the others.
Okay. I'm going to show my comics that I got here. So we had a really interesting mix of comics in the clearance comics there today. I didn't have time to really look through it super well, but you find what you find, right? So what did I get? Well, I found Badger number 3. I've talked about Badger before, and they had a ton of Badger in there. It was mostly ones I already had, but I think the earliest one that I have is 6. So it's cool to find 3. Great cover. The interior art on these early ones kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think the coolest thing about Badger is just the story is hilarious. So I was happy to find that. And all of these are 50 cents. So, I mean, you know, whatever. I found these 2 issues of Bad Rock and Company from Image. And I mostly bought this because there were these 2 of them there, and Pitt is on this one. And I'm wondering if this is the book that Rob Liefeld just stole Pitt without asking Dale Keown's permission for. So I've got to look into that. I hadn't heard, I mean, they had a million of these little spin-off books, and I don't have these, and I hadn't heard of it, but I saw both of them there, so I thought I'd grab them. This is probably all there is. There's a lot of Image spin-off books like that where there's just 2 of them. I forget what this guy's name is, but I think he's from Savage Dragon. Yeah, so there's Bad Rock and then some, so it's just a little crossover thing. Katie has a bunch of these Girl Genius by the Foglios. And she couldn't remember whether she had this one or not, but again, it's 50 cents, so whatever.
So he grabbed it for me.
Yeah, these are kind of fun. The Foglios are famous like fantasy and steampunk artists, and they did a novel series based on Girl Genius that Katie's got a couple of, and they also did art for some famous Magic cards and stuff like that too. So this is kind of a fun thing. Fun to see these. This was cool. This was Michael
sick.
Moorcock's Elric, Weird of the White Wolf, number 1 of 5 from First Comics. Roy Thomas, who is the writer for the Marvel Conan stuff, wrote this. And I haven't heard of Michael Gilbert, the artist. But First also is they're the ones who do all the later Badger and Nexus stuff. It was originally Capital Comics, but I really like pretty much everything that I've seen from First. And this looked awesome. Cool. So this is one of these things. It's like you see it in there and you're like, start paging through. It is like, is there more of these? Please let there be more, and then there isn't more, but you just
grab
it. I didn't know that First did it, Ulrich.
That's really cool.
Series, but I was excited to find that. So nice little comic haul. Yeah, these the Anne's talking about the coloring. I just love these older books, the way they're colored. This kind of reminds me actually some of the Jay Lee Namor stuff that I have, where it's really it's kind of like neon, not super dark. It's more light, but
Anne says it's like they got the colors from Care Bears, only it makes it more metal somehow.
And then just look at this. It's just gorgeous. Cool to look at. I've never heard of this Michael T. Gilbert. The lettering is really cool in this too. I didn't notice that at first, but it's all lettered like in this, or a lot of it. The narrator is all lettered in this kind of calligraphy style. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Very classic.
Yep.
Okay. You guys don't laugh at me. This is the Black Cauldron. This is also the Black Cauldron. And so's this one.
This one is shinier though.
This is the set that the kids read. It's on the kids shelf. But I only had the first one and the fifth one.
I mean,
when I first picked it up.
They're too young to read it now,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
it's the kind that they will read.
Yep. And then this is the cover that goes with the older set that I have. And then this is the Walt Disney movie alternative cover. So I had to get them all.
It's funny. We've been talking about getting a Tuck Wise says the Black Cauldron. Yeah. We've been talking about getting some kind of rack, like a spinner rack for vintage paperbacks. So there is something to these. It's like we do have a collection of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've really been enjoying looking at different covers of the books that I enjoy. So
it's kind of interesting too, just to look at different editions of the same book if you're interested in books. You know, there's obviously all kinds of different contusions you could put yourself through justifying this sort of thing, but you know, like we, among other things, like we actually make books. We've made books, and making those books, we didn't use some kind of pre-existing template. We designed them ourselves, and that required looking at a lot of examples. It's interesting to look at these two because they're obviously something very similar, but they are, you know, different editions from different times. You can see this one was $250, this one was $325, so it's newer, but you can see there's a lot of the same elements. You know, so it might be interesting just as an exercise in book design, kind of comparing the interiors of these and seeing what's different and what's the same. So this is the kind of thing that you can do when you have extra copies of things. I'm guessing that they're probably identical on the inside in terms of layout and pagination and everything, but would be interesting to look and make sure.
Matthew Pilgrim 9610 said, I had that copy of the Black Cauldron. Which one?
Yeah, yeah, that really narrows it down.
We had this one in my house at my parents', and I remember disliking it because it didn't match the others. But I don't dislike it now. for a movie cover, it's a really nice like taste of the vibe, if that makes sense. Patrick has a War of the Worlds collection, so he understands me. Doug Wise with the Black Cauldron pun, and with some negativity. I'm not sure you really needed to get them all. So Patrick says Michael T. Gilbert did the penciling for the Michael Moorcock Library. He's done a lot of stuff, Disney, Batman.
Yeah. I was just looking at his Wikipedia page. He says he worked on Legends of the Dark Knight. I have this Legends of the Dark Knight. Excuse me.
Here, let me get my stuff.
I don't normally buy stuff like this, but this has an Ethan Van Sciver cover, which I thought was pretty cool to have an Ethan Van Sciver Batman. I don't think he is in this one though. If I can see. Let's see, Jeff Lemire, Ben Temple Smith. Yeah, he's not in this one. So he must have done later Batman stuff, but that's interesting. It's always interesting to see what different artists have done and how they've crossed over and worked on different things.
Okay, this is kind of funny, guys. So I was looking at the backs of these. These are, the text is very similar.
Here, just bring it in so people can see.
In the imaginary land of Prydain, where evil is never distant, it has become imperative that the Black Cauldron, blah, 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 blah. In the land of Prydain, evil is never far away. Gotta dumb it down here, guys.
Yeah.
To Taran, assistant pig keeper, the adventure becomes a glorious opportunity to wear his first sword and prove himself a man among men. For Taran, it is a glorious opportunity to use his first sword in battle, period. But war requires a sacrifice greater than he'd ever imagined. Nothing about being a man here. Guys.
Yeah, well, it's, you got a girl on the cover of this one too. I mean, you can see they're trying to make it a little bit broader appeal, I think. I think it was kind of funny when my son was looking at this. He's like, "Daddy, is that a pig?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that is a pig."
His favorite animals are pigs.
Yeah, he likes pigs. He probably would get a huge kick out of this.
He would. Your turn again.
Okay, do you have?
I have just that.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm gonna do some throwaway stuff here. So
okay.
Like I said, I've been collecting movies. So my new rule is if I don't have a movie and I see a movie that's like at least a 7 on my scale and it's cheap, like I would consider cheap being a Blu-ray that's less than about $3, or a DVD that's like $1, I'm just gonna buy it. We watched Despicable Me with the kids a few weeks ago, and I like this movie a lot, so grab that to throw on the kid shelf. And then they had X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, this is not a good movie, but it's fun. And I haven't seen it for probably 10 years, so I thought it'd be fun to watch that again. So yeah, and both of these were $1, so why not? And then you all probably have gotten tired of me talking about MechWarrior 2, but I've been aware of these books for a while, and a couple times I've almost ordered a copy on eBay, but then you go into Half Price Books and there they are. So you just buy them and you don't have to pay for shipping, and you know what you're getting. These are not in super great shape, but who cares? I like stuff like this. Whenever you have a game that you really like, I think it's kind of fun to have a sort of paper copy of the stuff that's in the game. And I like seeing stuff like this where you're mixing these kind of low poly graphics with very 90s typesetting and design, and you got a lot of stuff, and there's some kind of fun behind the scenes. Like this is screenshots from 3D modeling software that made this Timberwolf on the cover, and oh geez, there's some nice there's some behind the scenes interviews and stuff. One of these, let's see here. One of these, is it this one? No. One of these, some people that we are in our circles on Twitter, I know, worked on because they were involved with BattleTech writing. I guess it's not either of these, but yeah. And this one also has a poster. A lot of them, when you find them online, they don't have the poster. This is not like a poster that's very cool. It's just kind of a dumb little mission maps things. Yeah, but it's still cool. And you know, I hate buying something like this and not having it be complete. So it's cool to see. This book especially is pretty cool because it's got a glossary and some really nice art and stuff like that. So yeah, both good finds. Happy to have them. I think some of these might be little illustrations that are in some of the different BattleTech books, and it's got some nice background stuff. So great find.
Anne says you can say nerd poster.
We know. Well, I mean, it's when I'd heard about the poster in these books, I was hoping it was like a poster of this cover image, because I just never get tired of this cover art. It just looks so cool, and it would be really cool to have an actual big poster size thing of that, but you know, you can't win them all.
But would you remove it from the book?
I mean, probably.
Really?
If yeah, I mean, like
if it was something
of this,
like this.
of this, yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd put that up. I mean, it's one of my favorite games ever, and I think it's really cool, and it's a very inspirational piece of art for me. You know, it's one of those things. It's like when you're a young person, you see something like this. It's just like the coolest thing you've ever seen, and it makes you think, "Oh man, I wish I could do that," and I wish I could go back and tell my 12-year-old self or whatever, however old I was when I was playing this game, like, oh yeah, like someday you're gonna make 3D art like this, you know. So it's cool stuff. Really happy to find both these.
And if you guys haven't seen, David's posted some of his stuff on X,
Yeah,
also on Instagram, and it looks like that stuff. So.
Yeah, Jonathan Sugar knows what I'm talking about. The soundtrack goes really hard, and the funny thing about that actually is that my copy of the game that I played growing up actually was bugged, and the soundtrack doesn't work in it. So the soundtrack is something called Red Book Audio. A lot of the games from the time, the soundtrack is basically just audio tracks on the game CD, and it just plays in the background. But my particular copy, the soundtrack never worked, so I didn't even know that it had a soundtrack. But the soundtrack is really good. I've since gotten other copies of it that don't have that problem. So, and if you have your old MechWarrior 2 CD, you can just stick it in your CD player and play it. But yeah. All right, you want to do your last one?
Okay, I got this. Mostly to look at with my kids. Christmas in Williamsburg. It's kind of cool. It's 300 years of family traditions.
300 years.
300 years. I'm trying to be intentional about talking to my kids about like what our culture is, where some of our traditions come from, why we do certain things, especially for holidays. We talked a lot about Halloween with our oldest daughter, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And we're talking a lot about we're building out a family tree together as part of school. So this just appealed to me on a number of levels. So yeah, it's got crafts and food and, you know, all the elements of the things that make up a holiday tradition, So random, kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like real people in costumes. It's fun. Okay, I'm done.
All right, and I think this is the last thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've talked about this before. This is one of the last pieces of my 90s Star Wars reference books that I didn't have. This is the first time that I've seen this at Half Price Books, so I was really excited to find this. This is the Star Wars Technical Journal. So I've showed all of these like Star Wars guide to vehicles and vessels and droids and different things. And I had experience with as a kid because me and my friends would get them through interlibrary loan. This I never came across, and it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of like photos of different things from interiors to ships and everything, and buildings and stuff like this. And then a lot of it is fold out, and this is in really good shape. They had another copy of it there that was sort of bound a little different and was missing the dust cover. It was absolutely trashed, but this one is in great shape. You can see how far this folds out. The illustrations I don't like maybe as much as the ones in the Guide to Vehicles and Vessels. It's a little bit musty. I think it needs to be aired out a little bit.
I don't smell anything.
But it's the cool thing about this too is the way it's put together. I think it'd be pretty hard to actually bend because the creases fold into the center. So that was pretty cool. I was excited to see that it's made in a way that's made to be able to be kept nice. Oh, this is cool. Here's the interior of the Hoth base.
Oh.
Yeah, this needs to be aired out a little bit, I think.
I honestly just smell glassy paper.
This book is pretty cool because there's a lot of photos in here that are like not movie stills. Like this. This is obviously some kind of, it's like a photo of one of the models. Oh, that's really cool. You don't see photos like this too much. This is actually a really great reference for some of these ships for art. Yeah. Doesn't really seem to be in any kind of order. That's funny, but
Matthew Pilgrim says
oh.
that stuff is great.
This one is, here's one that's a little bit bent over. You can see it was a little stuck together in there, but that's okay.
Jonathan Sugar says Nerd Centerfolds hit different.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of those things. It's like this is the kind of thing you have to be really careful about buying without seeing, because it could just be destroyed, or I've ordered some books like this that you get them and they're just mildewy or disgusting. So it's really fun to find stuff like this at Half Price Books and have it be in decent shape and reasonably priced.
Patrick is inspiring jokes about Boba Fett's ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just a little bit old. This was an expensive book back in the day. It was $35. It'd be like $70 now. And let's see. They have... Yeah, see, this stuck together. I was suspicious of that being like mildew or moisture, but I don't think it is. I think it's just old. Oh, nice. There's a map of Tatooine. That's fun.
It's pink and green.
Mm-hmm. Look at this fun 90s graphic design here. Let's get some concept art mixed in. Oh yeah, like this kind of stuff is cool. Just for like oh, here's the floor plan of the Mos Eisley Cantina, Good stuff.
Patrick says just
Yeah.
a page that says sand.
All right,
All
well, I
right.
think that's it.
That is all that we have to show you guys. But let me see. All right, sorry guys. Apparently I have to have the book haul cam up in order for you to hear me. It says that my mic is not muted. Can
you make this one big while leaving the book haul cam up?
No. No.
Now see, we're unmute. The book haul cam is unmuted there.
Well, that's what it was looking like earlier. Patrick's connect to the wrong Wi-Fi now.
Okay. Well, just go back to our original setup.
Can everybody hear? Okay, Patrick says you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it had muted before.
Okay, so now I have to say it all again.
Yes.
Next week, 1 week from today, Cyber Monday, I will be hosting a big virtual book fair for Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. Please come. We will have a fun time. And what I said was, I will make you guys have a fun time.
And I said we're going to kick anybody who's not having fun out of the stream.
Yep. You had to be there. So please come back next week. We'll try to start a little earlier, provided the baby cooperates.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us and for letting us share with you our enjoyment of books and collecting other media as well. Guys, have a great night.